Assalamu alaikum everybody and welcome to the daddy and the founding father of all the performance SUV in the world. Today I will explain why E53 BMW X5 is loved by many, and also we will talk about all the potential problems if you will let your inner child buy E53 X5. This car is very popular among 30-plus gray-haired fat tummy men. More than marrying young Monica Bellucci, more than money, and more than going out to a fine restaurant and eating delicious meal without your wife and kids. This car is more legendary than freedom fighters that fight with pedophiles in schools, churches, and everywhere they play as a friendly member of community. Weirdly, this honest-to-God sporty SUV is not the first BMW off-roader. The first BMW off-roader was a BMW 325 in 1930s, a very strange Soviet-looking ugly car, and after many years they decided to make this princess of the car called E53 that is just perfect. Development of E53 started in the 1994. It shared all the electronic parts and had the same platform and engines with the E39. So the cost of development of new X5 was not big, and compared to other projects it was very low. In 1996 design was approved and then project was frozen for some reason, and after a few years, in 1999, BMW revealed its beauty to the world. It was so beautiful, so nice, and also it was very refined, and people could not believe that SUV that tall, that big and that heavy can have a perfect handling. Mercedes ML and Range Rover and other luxury SUVs had body-on-frame structure. They were beautiful, powerful, but didn't handle so good. X5 was a unibody and had perfect weight distribution of 50-50, and at that time it was one of the rarest SUVs that had 50-50 weight distribution. No SUV before E53 was so perfect in the corners and had such performance and such delivery of the horsepower. Even the tuned out Range Rovers called Overfinch and the AMG Mercedes SUVs could not get close to the handling of E53. Yes, some of them had more power, but delivery of the power and actual using of the power could not be compared to E53. X5 was so good that BMW put a Le Mans engine called P75 from a racing car. It was 6.1 liter V12 and it produced more than 700 brake horsepower. It lapped Nürburgring in 7 minutes 49 seconds. It was faster than the Ford GT and Lamborghini Murcielago. The top speed was 311 kilometers, and this BMW had very simple name, X5 Le Mans, and of course it had manual transmission. It was a perfect vehicle. The only thing that it did not so good, actually really bad, is the off-roading. At that time, BMW owned Range Rover, and some say that Range Rover helped BMW with E53, but I'm not sure about the actual help, because yes, BMW borrowed the technology called hill descent system and perfect two-piece tailgate, and that's it. Basically, any Niva or any Soviet Fiat, anything old, anything rusty can go better off-road than BMW. And it's interesting to say that Range Rover at that time was much better off-road than the BMW X5, and X5 and Range Rover wasn't an ugly car. For me, it was one of the most beautiful Range Rovers ever made. But again, even with the BMW money and the help of BMW, X5 was much beautiful and better car than the Range Rover at that time from the 90s. And for me today, BMW looks very stylish, but if we compare E53 and Range Rover, E53 looks much more modern, and it looked back then even more modern than the Range Rover. BMW E53 was a very successful project. It sold better than hot shawarma across the nightclub at 5 a.m. clients that are very sinful people with low moral standards. During E53 production, BMW sold more than 460,000 units. To understand how successful it was, BMW E65, the beautiful luxurious sedan, the most popular luxurious sedan in the world, with the most popular name in the world, sold only 347,000 units. And the Mercedes ML sold 100,000 less than BMW sold their X5s. And at that time it was one of the best-selling SUVs. E53 was one of the most successful BMW projects. They demonstrated everybody how to create its own segment, they call it SAV, something sport activity vehicle, something like that, and they dominated for decades and still dominating this market. Even today, if a customer wants to buy SUV, X5 is always in their mind. For many car enthusiasts, this is a dream car. Many car YouTubers, including me, dream of this vehicle, and many British and Russian and American YouTubers actually bought E53s for themselves. The shape of the car is so attractive that you forget all your obligations to the world and to yourself and to other people. You just become a simply happy man. You just become very simple and happy man. You feel satisfied and warm and proud of yourself. When you look at this vehicle, when you drive it, when you enjoy it, you get this very rare, real man pride of yourself. Handling of this car, as I said before, is very unique, and no other car in the world could give you at that time in the 2000s such high position with such an analog and planted feel to asphalt. It is a Porsche GT of SUVs. Handling is one of my favorite things about this car, and it's just perfect. 68% of the power went to the rear wheels and only 32% went to the front, and that's the ratio that was perfect for handling. Engine and transmission are synchronized, as well as a married couple that lived together for 80 years and supported each other, and no matter what, they loved each other and they are very happy and they still live together. This is the best synchronization two parts I have ever experienced. This is a pure crystal clear understanding between transmission and V8 engine. Gear changes were very smooth, not fast because it's like 90s technology, but nevertheless it was very nice. E53 was offered with 5 petrol engines and 2 diesel engines. The base engine was a 3-liter straight-six naturally aspirated. It generated 228 brake horsepower and 300 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 will happen in 8.5 seconds. Then we have one of the most popular engines, the 4.4-liter V8 naturally aspirated called M62. It generated honest to god 290 brake horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 will happen in a very exciting 7.5 seconds. After a few years, BMW made more modernized 4.4-liter V8. It made 350 brake horsepower and 440 Nm of torque. It had better intake, it had smarter valves, and 0 to 100 happened in only 7 seconds. Then we have the 4.6-liter V8 that developed 342 brake horsepower and 480 Nm of torque. It could reach 100 km in very fun 6.5 seconds. And finally, the rarest and the most wanted one, 4.8-liter V8 that made 355 brake horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. X5 with this engine reached 100 km in just 6 seconds. This engine is the most desirable and the rarest. Also, we had 2 turbo diesel engines, 2.9 liters straight 6 that made 181 brake horsepower and massive 410 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 will happen in 10 seconds. Another was modernized 3 liters straight 6. It made 210 brake horsepower and 506 Nm of torque. It helped E53 reach 100 km in 8.5 seconds. And some say this is one of the best diesel vehicles that was ever made. Interior of E53 was as perfect as exterior. Leather was real, plastics were not recycled, wood was real, and the smell was mind-blowing. It is very luxurious and at the same time very attractive. I love interior of E53. Even today for me it's one of the best interiors. It managed to be stylish and at the same time very cozy and very modern. For some reasons, for me it's a very romantic car. I have no idea why it's romantic. It's very practical and simply very close to my soul. Every button is where it should be, it's nice to use, it's user-friendly, there is plenty space at the front, at the back. You felt perfect in this car at any seat you sat in. The position of panoramic roof, everything, just every button, the shape of the button, everything was nice and good to look at, and it had style and had class. It wasn't bougie or right in your face luxurious, it was very discreet, but at the same time it had its very nice price value. You looked at it and you're like, that thing cost a lot, but it didn't shout at you that it was pricey. Trunk was also for some reason very stylish, and it had one of the best things in the world, splitting tailgate that was a cherry on top. After my mouth-watering speech that is dedicated to praising one of the most beautiful SUVs in the world, let's talk about the problems of this wonderful creature that can ruin your life at the same speed as Bill Clinton ruined Donald Trump's career. Sorry. I tried to stay out of the politics, but that's just hilarious what is happening right now. Let's start from the straight 6 engines. So straight 6 engines, they have same problem as the V8 engines. Oil leakage, cooling, and they also eat sometimes oil. Diesel engines considered to be one of the most reliable engines in E53 lineup. To be honest, I have no experience with diesel engines, so if you know any problems about diesel engines, please let me know in the comments. So petrol engines, as I said before, basically have the all same problems. Oil leaks all the time because of the lack of the cooling, and in general very poor service history. Leaks oil because the sealing, and sometimes it consumes oil with the fuel. This happens because of the overheating of the engine. When the engine is overheated, then there is a lot of dirt inside of the engine chamber, engine block, and then you get the scratches on the engine walls, and oil sneaks into the combustion process, and then you always put some more oil because car starts eating it. You can spot it really easily. If there's a blue smoke from the exhaust, then this car has this problem. Another problem that always will happen is the cooling. Because of the plastic hoses and in general all the hoses, they love to leak after 40-50,000 kilometers, and usually people miss that a lot. So you need to keep your eye on all the cooling all the time and avoid all the leakage, because this will kill your engine really fast. Also, there's another problem: when cooling leaks, it can leak into a very hot exhaust, and there's possibility of a fire of the car. It can happen, so be careful. Automatic transmissions are usually reliable. E53 were offered with 5-speed automatic transmission that some say was sourced from General Motors, and the 4.8 liters were offered with ZF 6-speed transmissions that are also very reliable. Both of them are not bad. And if you change oil every 50 to 60,000 kilometers inside of a transmission, and some say that they will outlast the engine without any problems. Also, you need to keep attention on a cooling for the transmission, because cooling also has some problems, and sometimes transmission does leak oil. So you need to keep your eye on that too. Please don't forget that today E53 is a 20-plus-year-old car. So all the rubber bushings and all the shock absorbers, everything underneath of the car that is plasticky or rubbery needs to be changed. And weirdly, for some reason, all the electronics are basically perfect. They rarely go wrong. I have a review of E53 with almost 500,000 kilometers on its odometer, and every electronical detail was working perfectly. If you want to see full test drive, link is in the description. If you're seriously considering buying this car, you need to understand that even if you find a good car in good condition with good service history, it will take from you from $1,000 to $2,000 every 3 months in maintenance and making this car perfect. Even if it's a good condition, but again, 20-plus-year-old German SUV, it will take some money to become perfect. When you will fix everything, all the small details, then it will take about from $500 to $1,000 on the maintenance per 3 months. And not talking about the fuel. The fuel prices alone will cost you about $500 per month if you will drive it daily, because the best one is the V8 one, the 4.6 or 4.8 if you can find it. 4.4 also nice, but 4.6, 4.8 more power, more experience, more fun to drive it, and it's much nicer. If you're looking for an off-road car, ignore this vehicle. It doesn't do any off-road at all. If you want to buy new X5 or restore the old one, I would recommend buying the old one and restore it. The new X5 is a wonderful vehicle, it's nice, it's beautiful, it's very expensive, but it will not give you so much emotions as the old X5, and people will not appreciate it as much. And also you will not appreciate it as much. E53 will give you one of the most unique experience of your life. You will experience the best handling SUV from the 90s that still is analog, still is real, without any fake noise from the speakers. It will be pure joy. It weighs 2.5 tons, and to understand the weight of the car correctly, imagine a tall girl that is 180 centimeters tall or 6.2 feet for my American friends, that weighs 90 kilograms, and the weight is placed in all the right places. There is nothing that feels fat about this woman. Everything is at the right place. It's very perfectly balanced, and you praise her and you enjoy looking at her. Same thing with E53. If you have restored E53, keep all your documents, keep all the receipts, and the price of the car will only appreciate. With God's help, one day I will buy this vehicle. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, share my video so I can buy E53 and restore it, or buy a good one in good condition, and also I will enjoy it, inshallah. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and I also want to know how many E53 lovers out there that are my subscribers, and tell me about your experience. Take care and bye bye.